Skunk ape, also known as the swamp ape and Florida Bigfoot, is a purported ape-like creature said to inhabit the forests and swamps of some southeastern United States, notably in Florida. The skunk ape is sometimes compared to, synonymous with, or called the cousin of Bigfoot, a prominent subject within North American popular culture. Articles have been presented in an attempt to prove the skunk ape's existence, including anecdotal sightings, disputed photographs, audio and video recordings, and footprints. The majority of mainstream scientists have historically discounted the existence of the skunk ape, considering it to be the result of a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoax, rather than a living animal. The skunk ape has permeated into the popular culture of the southern United States, especially in Florida. The skunk ape is commonly described as a bipedal ape-like creature, approximately 1.5–2.1 meters, 5–7 feet, tall, and covered in mottled reddish-brown hair. The skunk ape is often reported to be smaller in stature compared to traditional descriptions of Bigfoot from the northern US and Canada. It is named for its foul odor, often described as being similar to a skunk. The skunk ape has been recorded as appearing in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama folklore since European settlers first occupied the region. In 1818, local newspapers reported a story from what is now Apalachicola, Florida, that spoke of a man-sized monkey raiding food stores and stalking fishermen along the shore. Seminole culture includes stories of a foul-smelling, physically powerful, and secretive creature called Estikapkaki, a name which roughly translates to cannibal giant. In 1942, a man in Suwannee County reported a similar creature rushing out from the brush line while he was driving down an isolated road. It was alleged to have grabbed onto his vehicle and beat on the running board and door for half a mile before departing. In the small community of Barton, in Putnam County, Florida, beginning in the 1940s, there were a number of alleged sightings of a creature that came to be known as the Barton Booger. Reports of the skunk ape were particularly common in the 1950s into the 1970s. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization has archived hundreds of alleged sightings across almost every county of Florida from 1955 to the current year. In the 1970s, two Palm Beach County sheriff's deputies named Marvin Lewis and Ernie Milner reported that an ape-like creature stalked them through a grove before they shot at it with their firearms. They reported following a trail of footprints where they recovered hair snagged on a barbed wire fence line that had been pushed down. In 1977, a failed-to-pass bill was proposed to the Florida state legislature to make it illegal to take, possess, harm, or molest anthropoids or humanoid animals. Several Everglades wildlife tour bus operators and their guests have reported alleged sightings. In July 1997, one such operator, David Shaley, reported wildlife bait stands laden with lima bean had been raided, and he noticed strange tracks surrounding them. He baited several locations with more lima beans, and multiple witnesses reported skunk ape sightings soon after. Shaley and others attributed this instance to high seasonal flooding having driven numerous animals into tighter ranges around higher ground. One such sighting was by Everglades tour operators Steve Goodbrett and Dow Rowland. Some of their guests reported skunk ape sightings as well. Both operators claimed that 38 degrees centigrade, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, weather, high humidity, and the rural location would make a hoax unlikely. In 1997, a photograph of a dark upright figure in the swamp was taken by Ochapi Fire Control District Chief Vince Dorr that he claims is of a skunk ape. He reported observing the creature cross the road and stopped his car to capture a photograph. Within 2 weeks, over 50 people reported alleged sightings of a hairy creature within the Big Cypress National Preserve. In the year 2000, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office received 2 anonymous photos depicting a large, hairy, ape-like creature. The author of the letter claimed to be an elderly woman who reported the creature had been stealing apples from her back porch near I-75, and upon surprising it with a camera, she was afraid it was an escaped orangutan that might harm her family. The scrutinized photos, dubbed the Myakka skunk ape, remain a polarizing topic, and their authenticity remains debated. Most anecdotal reports and alleged visual evidence are deemed to be fabrication or hoaxes. Skeptical investigator Joe Nickel has written that some of the reports may represent sightings of the American black bear, possibly some suffering from mange, and it is likely that other sightings are hoaxes or general misidentification of wildlife. The United States National Park Service considers the skunk ape to be a hoax. Some of the reported sightings have been represented by many authorities as sightings of the American black bear. This may be true in a very few cases, but the problem with this is that a bear will stand on two legs if trying to see something distant, reach food in higher places, or simply to scratch themselves. A bear runs and walks on all four legs. They may take a few steps while on two legs. Bears also don't necessarily avoid humans. That is one reason that we have many bears on photos, and the zoos are filled with them. A cryptid, such as the skunk ape, swamp ape, Florida Bigfoot, on the other hand, seem to avoid humans as much as possible. All reported sightings state that they walk, run, or leap on two legs. The skunk ape has been widely adopted across Florida as an unofficial mascot for wilderness and rural culture, including appearing in roadside businesses and attractions, television commercials, and on signs. During the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, several Florida businesses used the skunk ape's reported foul smell to promote social distancing. A part of the original footage discovered on archive.org will be shown here. If you want to see the original footage, follow the link in the description.
So Mike, here's a picture in the museum that's actually on the internet. Could you have anything to say about this one?
Yeah, that's what's known as the Mayaca skunk ape. This is a photograph that was anonymously sent to some cryptozoologists. According to the letter that went with it, this lady who lives in Florida had something that was raiding her little victory garden in her backyard. She was complaining to the janitorial and custodial people in this little area that she lived in, and she couldn't get anybody to respond to her complaints. She assumed that it was a raccoon or something that was raiding her garden, and so she decided to set up a camera to photograph it so she could prove to the animal control people that she had a pest in her backyard. And then she took the photos, and bingo, it certainly was not a raccoon. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this over the years, and I personally, of course, have never been there. I never talked to the woman. I've only seen the versions of the photo that have been posted on the internet. But what I have to say about this is that if I was going to make a guess, I would say that this is something that would be typically referred to as a swamp ape or a skunk ape.
The Smithsonian Magazine added on their YouTube channel the Dave Shaley skunk ape footage. Here is a small portion of that footage. A link to the actual footage is posted in the description.